with the Peckett and McNabb machine. Mike Hailwood gives a wave to somebody in the crowd on the Sports Motorcycles Ducati. Barry Ditchburn having his first ride on the Mocheck Honda. Then the familiar striped helmet of former world champion Phil Reed. We've got John Williams, who's taken over Tony Rutter's Mocheck Honda, the machine which was leading the championship. And that's Asa Morris on the far side, and a big wheelie there from Phil Reed as the pack go off at the start of this race. A lot of four-strokes in this thing, the four-strokes dominating. It's Asa Morris. Asa Morris, the 23-year-old Londoner, a very, very stylish rider, very much underrated by a lot of road racing fans. Heads the pack round Gerrard's Bend in this 20-lap Mr. Tom's Formula One race. And certainly Asa in very good company there. A lot of overtaking on the braking there. Interesting to see how these big bikes cope on those twists of the S's there, where Bereshine had a few problems. And going into the hairpin, it's Asa Morris in the lead, John Cowie in second place, and that's Phil Reed there in third spot. Cowie trying to get to grips, and it's Phil Reed now moving up into third spot. Barry Ditchburn there in fifth position, and the pack comes sweeping round Devil's Elbows. Asa Morris, John Cowie, Phil Reed. Well, Asa Morris still hanging on to this lead, and we're trying to pick up Mike Hailwood. Asa Morris in the lead, John Cowie in second place, Phil Reed in third spot. There's Mike Hailwood. Mike Hailwood in fifth spot at the moment. John Cowie in the lead on the 984 Kawasaki. Under pressure from John Cowie, though. John Cowie, who lies in third place in the championship. And Phil Reed right on their tail. There's Hailwood there in third place. Mike Hailwood on the Sports Motorcycles Ducati overtakes number 15, that's Steve Manship. And it's a whole gaggle going through, and it's Reed in the lead. Phil Reed takes the lead at the hairpin. John Cowie now in second place. Asa Morris in third spot. And six riders come sweeping down Devil's Elbows. Phil Reed, John Cowie, Asa Morris, Mike Hailwood, Steve Manship, Barry Ditchburn, and Chas Mortimer there on the Augusta Suzuki. So it's Phil Reed on the Works Honda in the lead from John Cowie in second place. In third spot, it's Asa Morris, the man who led the race. Phil Reed on the Works Honda. This machine blew up in the Isle of Man. Phil admitted that he had to keep redlining it. That's taking the engine to maximum revs in a bid to stay with Mike Hailwood, and it was just too much. And Mike Hailwood going up into third place there. Mike Hailwood overtaking Asa Morris, but Asa Morris has the inside line, has to brake hard though, and Hailwood dives across the front wheel. And it's Reed in the lead from John Cowie, and Mike Hailwood there in third spot. A tremendous ride by Mike Hailwood on the Ducati. It's Phil Reed from John Cowie, Mike Hailwood, Asa Morris, Steve Manship, Barry Ditchburn. Reed then ahead of John Cowie. John Cowie on the Peckett and McNabb Kawasaki. Phil Reed on the Honda in the lead. So we've got Honda in the lead, Kawasaki in second place, and Ducati ridden by Mike Hailwood in third spot. 3 laps gone then in this 20-lap battle, and certainly Hailwood got plenty of time to get out front, and in fact Hailwood already closing the gap. Hailwood closing the gap on those 3 men. Well, can Mike Hailwood win again here at Mallory Park? Certainly I don't think there's many people in the crowd who don't want him to win. Phil Reed in the lead, John Cowie in second place. Phil Reed there, getting closer to Gibbs. Asa Morris, nose to tail. You see the riders just flip the throttle as they change down one, as they peel off into Gerrard's. And Mike Hailwood right on the tail of John Cowie, and I suspect that Mike Hailwood is loving every moment of this race. Phil Reed in the lead on the Works Honda. John Cowie in second place on the Peckett and McNabb Kawasaki, and in third place Mike Hailwood on the Sports Motorcycles Ducati. And Hailwood, smooth as ever, go through the S's in absolutely magnificent style. And you feel that he could just swoop past this two at any moment. Reed in the lead, John Cowie in second place, Mike Hailwood there. Mike Hailwood, 38 years old, retired from top-class motorcycle racing in 1967. Went to cars, had a very bad accident at Nürburgring, which put him out of car racing. And look at these 3, almost side by side. It's Reed, Cowie and Mike Hailwood. not just on the tail of Cowie, almost alongside him, riding pillion in fact. And it's Reid, still from Cowie, still from Hailwood. Going through the S's. 5 laps completed, they're on their 6th lap of this 20-lap race. And it's Reid on the Honda, John Cowie on the Kawasaki, and Mike Hailwood on the Ducati. And Mike tries an outside line. It's Reid, still Cowie, still Hailwood. And Hailwood tries to... Oh, I thought he was going to go on the inside of the devil's elbow. I just would never have believed that. It's Reid, though, in the lead. Cowie there in 2nd place, and Mike Hailwood happy and comfortable there in 3rd spot. I don't believe for 1 minute that Mike Hailwood is extending himself. He looks as cool as a cucumber, absolutely glued to the rear tyre of John Cowie. Well, Mike the Bike, a lot of people say that Mike the Bike, Mike Hailwood, is the greatest motorcyclist, greatest road racing motorcyclist the world has ever seen, and I certainly wouldn't argue with them. To come back to the Isle of Man as he did and win the Formula One, another world title to add to his collection, another TT victory to add to his collection, and I strongly suspect that we're going to see Mike Hailwood win this one too, right on the tail of John Cowie and Phil Reid. They sweep round Devil's Elbow, all chin on the tank. Everybody means business here. Nobody fooling around, and those first 3 men pulling away from the rest of the field. Phil Reid in the lead, John Cowie in 2nd place, and Mike Hailwood in 3rd spot. Hailwood sitting there comfortably in 3rd spot. 7 laps completed. They're on their 8th lap now of this 20-lap race, and Cowie closes the gap on Reid, in fact. John Cowie in 3rd spot in this championship battle, 8 points down on, and 10 points down, in fact, on the leader, Tony Rutter, who's missing from this race, of course, injured in TT practice. And Ron Haslam, who's in 2nd place, he's out too, after taking a tumble this morning in the practice for the 125 Honda Championship Series. Nose to tail, Reid has a look over his shoulder, and they're still there. And it's Reid and Cowie. And Cowie takes the lead. John Cowie dipped through superbly around the outside of Phil Reid to take the lead. And I strongly suspect that Hailwood's going to do exactly the same thing in just a few moments' time. Watch Hailwood. And Reid in back. Reid looks as though he's going to have a go, but keep your eye on Hailwood, because I don't think Hailwood is going to wait around. If Cowie can go past Reid, so too can Mike Hailwood. That's the philosophy I think Mike will be adopting. Mike, of course, living with his wife and family in New Zealand at the moment, and I suspect it was boredom more than anything else that prompted him to return. It's Cowie, though, in the lead now. Reid in 2nd place, and Cowie just pulling away just a fraction from these 2 men behind him. Hailwood's going to make his effort any minute now. Mike Hailwood right on the tail, and Hailwood goes through. I thought he would. Mike Hailwood goes through into 2nd place. A real scrap now for the lead. It looks as though Reid's Honda doesn't handle quite as well, and Hailwood's going to have a go on Cowie now on the exit for Gerrards. It's Cowie in the lead. Mike Hailwood thinks better of it. 9 laps completed. They're coming round to the halfway stage in what has been an absolutely superb race. John Cowie on the Kawasaki, the Packard McNabb Kawasaki, in the lead from Mike Hailwood on the Sports Motorcycles Ducati, and in 3rd spot Phil Reid on the Works Honda. And then, although Mike's not likely to ride in many more of these championship rounds, and these other guys are very, very keen to score some championship points, I'm sure there's nothing Mike would like better than to go back to New Zealand with a win here at Mallory Park under his belt. 10 laps gone, the halfway stage in this race. John Cowie in the lead. Mike Hailwood in 2nd place. Phil Reid in 3rd spot. And those first 3 men having pulled well clear from the rest of the field, with Asa Moyes in 4th position, Steve Manship in 5th spot, and in 6th position Barry Ditchburn riding the other Mocheck Honda. And Hailwood going to have a go at Cowie, is he? At the hairpin? No, he's not. He looked as though he was going to have a go. Cowie is still in the lead. Mike Hailwood right up his exhaust pipe. And Phil Reid being dropped off by the 11 laps gone, 9 more laps to go. And Cowie then, that Ducati handles superbly. The Pekin McNabb Kawasaki twitching a little bit, going into the S's, but Mike Hailwood's by, and Mike Hailwood on the inside. Will he try to pass on the braking for the S's? Cowie stretches the lead a little bit down the step straight, and Hailwood comes back again on the braking. There they go, the first 3 men through the S's. John Cowie in the lead. Phil Reed in third spot, being dropped off a little bit though by this 2-man scrap for the lead. It's Cowie and Hailwood, and the fans urge Mike Hailwood, if someone could get out and push him to go faster, I think they would. Into Gerald Bell, 12 laps gone, and Hailwood takes the slightly wider line, then comes back. No, he doesn't. Maybe he's going to have a sprint down the outside, and he's alongside Cowie. He's ahead of Cowie. Can Cowie hold it off? He has. Yes, Mike. No, he's not. Mike Hailwood takes him on the braking. Oh, superb riding there by Mike Hailwood. Outbraked John Cowie, going into the S's in absolutely masterful fashion. Mike Hailwood on the Ducati in the lead now, ahead of his younger rival. Mike Hailwood, 38 years old, and the fans like that. They're pleased to see Mike the bike out in front. Mike Hailwood then in front, and he takes the glance over his shoulders. The grandstands on both sides rise to their feet, and they wave their hands and their programs. Oh, and the Pekin and McNabb Kawasaki twitch there. John Cowie trying very hard to stay with Mike, and I think Mike's going to go away. Mike Hailwood beginning to stretch that gap there now. Mike Hailwood down the Stebby straight, changing down now, braking for the first right-hand sweep of the S's. That bike over, not on the limit by any manner of means. Mike certainly not scratching, goes through on the inside of one tail ender, pulls back to take Shaw's hairpin, a very tricky corner. The hands go out and wave. He'll be coming round to complete 14 laps now. 6 more laps to go. Mike Hailwood and John Cowie. He's not giving up. Phil Reed there in third spot. Well, I think words can hardly describe this performance by Mike Hailwood. Mallory Park is one of the most difficult, tough and testing, scratching circuits on the British mainland. It's 1.35 miles in length. If you blink your eye, you lose a fifth of a second, and a fifth of a second can be the difference between winning and losing a race. And Mike Hailwood has come here today and shown his younger rivals just what it is, what super riding quality he's got. Mike Hailwood on the Ducati, leading this race. John Cowie still there in second spot, and that's all credit to John Cowie. But Hailwood has really thrashed the pants off the entire entry. Phil Reed now, something like 150 yards down on this leading pair in third place. And during the race we've lost Asa Moyes. Asa Moyes has gone missing. Up into fourth spot has come John Williams on the other motor. In fact, we haven't lost Asa Moyes. He's just been passed by 3 or 4 riders, so that's false alarm there. And Hailwood now out now on his 16th lap. Hailwood going into the hairpin for the 16th time. He'll have completed 16 laps. The fans still wave and cheer, give him some encouragement. Stretched his lead over John Cowie just a little bit. Phil Reed there in third spot. And we've got a yellow flag out at the exit from Gerrard's. I don't know who the faller is, but as soon as we know, we'll let you know. And it's still Mike Hailwood on the Sports Motorcycles Ducati, peeling off for that right-hander, then the left-hand twitch, using all of the road. Ducati handling absolutely superbly, and Mike looking really, for all the world, as if he's just going down the road to post a letter. Mike Hailwood in the lead. coming round now to complete 17 laps, and then he'll have just 3 more laps to go, and he's pulling further and further and further away all the time now from John Cowie. The lead now 2 seconds, and round Mallory Park, where the record lap stands at 48 seconds, 2 seconds is an awful lot of time and an awful lot of road. Mike Hailwood in the lead, and behind it's still John Cowie, Phil Reed, John Williams is there, then Barry Ditchburn, and moving up is Steve Manship, and dropping down another spot is Asa Boyce. Mike Hailwood, though, the man in picture, the man leading this race, coming through superbly. I spotted him early on in the race in 5th or 6th place, and he chopped past riders, taking them on the inside and the outside, passing them on the bends and down the straights. Coming down now, 18 laps to complete, 2 more laps to go, less than 2 minutes racing. John Cowie trying very, very hard to stay with Mike, but there's just no chance of him getting back ahead, and still the yellow caution flags go out for that tumble on the exit to Gerrard's, and you can see the gap now between Mike Hailwood in the lead and second place man John Cowie, and John Cowie will be happy to go through in second place, score 12 points to take his total to 38, and that's going to take him into the lead in this Mr. Top's Formula One Championship. We're coming round now for Hailwood to start his last lap, and still the programme's wave. Hailwood, though, concentrating on the job in hand, and that's another lap to go. Mike Hailwood in the lead, Ducati sounding absolutely superb. The bike hasn't twitched or moved an inch. Mike Hailwood, the same line every lap, lap after lap, round Gerrard's Bend. A really superb performance. Takes a glance over his shoulder and still gets down on the tank. Mike Hailwood on his final lap and on his way surely to victory in this Formula One race. Taking Shaw's hairpin. Accelerates away, changes up again. Peels off left, the checkered flag's ready. The flag goes out for Mike Hailwood, and Mike Hailwood has won his comeback, and the grandstands go wild. The crowd on their feet and cheering, and this is a very, very popular win. Superb win there. John Cowie in second place, and Mike waving to the fans as he goes round Gerrard's, and the fans wave back to him. John Cowie, an excellent ride in second place. Third, Phil Reed. Fourth is John Williams on the no check, and Hailwood waving. Programmes being up to now.